Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing us how to make a durag. Now the challenge is I had already done a video on that, but I noticed that while I was mapping out, the mappings did not show, or the chalk I used did not reflect properly on the material, so I thought you will not be able to see it. And so I'm going to repeat the process, but this is the already finished work, or the partially finished work. I'm yet to sew it, so when I'm be sewing, I'll be using this. Yes, so the items, I'll start with the items. The items you will need are: one, your satin material. This is not a satin material because what I intend using I had already done, but I want to repeat the process again. Obviously your tape roll, your scissors, your chalk or your marker, or anything you can use to make your markings, your office pins. I may not be using the office pins because I'm done with what I need to do, or I may not cut this out. I've already cut the other one out. Then your ruler, or any kind of ruler. And so then we proceed. So in mapping out or cutting your durag, the things that you need to take into consideration, the first is the circumference of your head. So the circumference of my head, I don't know if I'll be able to show this, but the circumference of my head is about 23 inches. It's about, I don't know what you can see there, but whatever it is, let me bring it out. Beautiful. So it's about 23 inches. Yes, and half of 23 I think is 11.5. Don't worry, I'm not a mathematician. Calculate it yourself. It's about 11.5. And so you start the determination of your 11.5 from this folded part. Please note that the material is folded into two. So you start measuring from this part. So you take out your measure from this, but that's the folded part. This part is folded into two. See, if you open it, so don't be confused. You measure it out, 11.5. I just hope you can see this. So the 11.5 is to determine how wide my head is going to be, and the measure the quantity of material I'm going to use. Secondly, you can also map out the area. So it's going to be somewhat around here. Now this measurement I am doing, if you are not sure or you don't want to waste your material, the first thing you can do is to draw it on a paper. When you're done drawing it on a paper, then you can transfer it. The reason I'm not drawing it on paper is because I like to do my stuff fast and move on. I don't want to waste my time. So I just wanted to do it directly on the material. But the good thing about drawing paper is if you want to do it for commercial purpose, or you want to duplicate, I don't know if you can see that part. Oh, okay, let me move this here. Yes, maybe because it. Okay, yes. The good thing, sorry, please. The good thing about doing it on a paper or yes, on a paper basically is if you want to duplicate or make extra copies of the durag. So now the next thing you need to do is that your durag, for me, I usually like between 30 to 40 inches long, but I'll be doing 35. I would have wanted to do 40 inches because the one I cut out was 40, but because this video can't take beyond this point, I'm so sorry. So I'll be doing 35. The pink one I have, or I used to use, is about 30 inches, but I want something longer this time around, and that's 35. So now, this part that faces you, don't forget this part is the folded part, so you're going to pause on this. So this part that faces you, you're going to measure from here to here, 7 inches. 7 inches. Just put down that one down. Then this part you're going to measure 20 inches. Now this 20 inches is the flap that falls behind you. I don't know, the flap that falls behind you, the one behind, the one that falls behind you, the one that gets to, for a lady, the one that gets to probably close to your bra strap. That's the back, the buckle rather, or for the guys, probably behind your neck, or sorry, below your neck. So it depends on how long you want it. For me, I want length 20, this long. Yes, or you can make it a little shorter, or 18, or even longer, but I think 20 is the standard measurement. While this part here is going to be 7, and this for this 7, the reason why we want 7 is because that's going to be the length for cutting the rope. Or you can even do 7.5. Let's do 7.5. 7.5. So from that 7.5, you're going to measure the rope, the width of the rope. Probably you want it to be 3.5 or 3 inches fat. So let's say I want it 3.5 inches fat, or even say 3 inches fat. The reason why I want 3.5 inches fat because I'm going to sew or make the edge smooth, the edge of this part smooth. So let's go for 3.5. So we're going to measure 3.5 all the way down. I don't know if you can still see. Beautiful. 3.5 all the way down. So, and then you measure, or rather you roll it. Now don't forget this part, 20. So what's going to happen is the flap, how wide you want it. I usually use like 7 inches, or even you can use 6 inches. 6 inches is not bad. Then you measure, you see for this part right, that we measured 20 inches here. So you start from there to measure your 7 or 6 inches. So I'm using 6 inches. So I'll measure it all the way. No, rather, sorry, not there. You measure it all the way to this point. Sorry, I was a bit confused. All the way to this point. Now, when you get to this point, that's I don't know if you can still see it. Yes. So if you get to this point, for me, growing up, I really didn't like vehicles, phones, or whatever that had sharp ends. So I love things that have curvy ends. So this is me curving this part. So if I'm cutting, I'm going to cut it this way. Then this part, I'm going to also draw a straight line. Remember, this is 20 inches. So I'll draw a straight line from here to this part. You know, I told you to measure from here to here 6 inches. So you just join it down and then bring this. So you can either make this part curved too, have a curved end. Then you can also make, I don't know if you can see here, make this part curved. So that's it. And your durag is almost ready. Now in the cutting process, I don't know if you can see here, it's either you just carve this part a little so it gives you the shape of your head. Don't know if you can see it. Let me bring it closer. Carve this part a little so it gives you the shape of your head, like the back of your head. There's some people call it ogo. So yes, then here you can curve here a bit or not, but just do your carving, like, you understand. So when you're cutting, you're going to cut, I don't know if you can see it, yes, here, okay, you're going to cut here like this. Don't cut all the way down, or just leave this place, only cut to this part. See, sorry. So when you're cutting, cut like this and stop here. Don't cut all the way down because this place is sealed. Just stop here, then you come here and cut like this. I don't know if you can see this. Yes, cut like that. So let me show you what it's supposed to look like I explained. So this probably it. Mine was a bit longer because that's what I want. And so you have it. Now I'll be going back to my machine and I'll be sewing my Durag. Then it will come out the way I want it. So let's hop to the machine. So now it's time to sew, and you remember this part I told you not to cut, the folded edge. So this part, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, let's see. So this part I'm going to sew this and bring, this is the head of the material. So only just sew it to this point. Let me take away this machine. You understand? So this is it. But let me put it this way. So we're going to sew just this part this way. Just this part from here to here. I don't know if you understand. This is the front. So we're going to sew from here, and just connect here. Then that's all we're joining. Then secondly, I'm also going to smoothen the edges. So this is the bees. I don't know if you can see this. So I'm going to smoothen the edge, like all this part all the way down. I'm going to also smoothen here. When I mean by smooth, you could do your normal what's it called, weaving. You could weave here. For me, I'm not going to weave, especially for those that don't have weaving machine. So we're going to use, just going to fold it this way and then sew. And so watch. So there you go. So for me, I prefer to fold, or showing you another option. So if you don't have is a weaving machine to weave the edge or give it that industrial look, you can do it this way. That's why the channel is called DIY. Do it yourself. Coming alive. As much as possible, I like to trim off extra thread. Then you also notice that this part may be a little puffy. You can just put it in so it aligns and you sew it straight. And so now the next thing for me is to smoothen my edges. So like I mentioned, I will rather just fold and make it neat, since I don't have a whipping machine. Well, I'm doing this because of for those who do not have whipping machine. You can also trim this part to make it straight. See, my Durag is coming alive. So I'm folding all my edges this way. I'm gonna sew smooth. This is the part I hate about sewing, when the thread just jumps in. Hope you can see what I just did. Yes. Oh, my drag is coming out smooth and nice. So I noticed that probably scissors had gone into this material one time. That part was giving me a little challenge. I'll do it. So this could be stressful or tiring. Now this curved part, this part that looks curved, to do it you can just stretch out this part and then continue folding, sewing. If you stretch it out, it will be easier for you to bend and deal with that angle. Then you continue. So I've sewn this. Now this is the down part of the Durag that falls to your back. It's the same process. It's either you cut off the thread and continue. I just want to make this easy, or you continue that way. I fold it again, fix it, and do it neatly. The reason I'm cutting this out and bringing it back again is so that I can easily fold without stress, and so for you to also learn or understand what I'm doing. But if you can do it without cutting, good. I can actually do it that way, but it may get you confused, or it may feel, I don't just want you to get confused. So okay, so this brings me to the end of Salon Grande. I am done sewing the entire part. I'll take this back gently because it's so thick here. I'll gosh, I felt like it was going to cut my thread again. Yes, so I'm done. Let me trim off all the excess thread. I don't know if you can see this. It's so done. I'm going to wear it and you're gonna see it. Yeah, thanks for watching. This brings us to the end of our Durag making video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If there's anything you have an issue with as regards the specification, the measurement and all, please share your questions or your concerns in the comments section. I'll be here to respond as soon as possible. I'm also going to link my Instagram handles and my email address and every other. Yes, and any other way you can reach out to me or contact me. Yes, this Durag can also be used to protect your natural hair, especially for those in the natural hair community. I think I shared a video on how to lay your hair nice and sleek, and you could use a Durag to also preserve the hair. So please do not forget to share, like, comment. For you to have watched this video to the very end meant that you enjoyed the video or you wanted to learn something. And thanks for watching. See you in my next video and videos on every other thing.